Jason, if you're struggling with grief, relationships, stress, which I don't think you have any of that, or you're having trouble sleeping or meeting your low goals, online therapy could be for you. BetterHelp is secure online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with a licensed professional therapist. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own accredited therapist, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. There's no waiting room. The service is available worldwide, and you can log into your account anytime to message your therapist.
You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if needed. We've all been there, haven't we? It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available in your area. Visit BetterHelp.com/howlong and join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. How Long Gone is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month of online therapy at BetterHelp.com/howlong.
Coming to you live from torched Austin, Texas. This is the CEO of Dell Computers and known Longhorns fan, Jason Stewart. How are you, bro?
Over here building with McConaughey, doing my thing. Feels good to be here in Texas, the new home of podcasting.
No, I mean, they're welcoming us with open arms, obviously, as members of the podcast community, but I think they're still looking at us as East Coast and West Coast outsiders, because we didn't buy property here.
City slickers is what we are, but they take good care of us here in Austin.
Yeah, they don't care that you can drink 6 micheladas in one setting. You know, they don't care that you know all about breakfast tacos. You know,
they're not as impressed. And shout out to our man Brendan for showing us around yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good time. The weather in Texas has been so nice that it's making me like the state even more than I thought I would, considering that everything else here is a little bit backwards.
Yeah, so I mean the weather in LA has been a little shite, so I guess it is backwards. What are some things that you're liking about it so far?
I don't even know. I guess the Whole Foods, probably. It's the original location.
The Whole Foods and the weather?
It's the Whole Foods original location, and I like that my Uber yesterday was a F-350.
Yeah, I was telling you when I was in Hawaii, if you get picked up in an Uber that is a pickup truck, they not all the time, but my person that I had driving me was nice enough to ask if we'd like to get the full experience and sit in the bed of the truck with our luggage. Or maybe the luggage goes in the front and we go in the back, Brada style, with maybe a wild chicken back there. If you want to see Hawaii like the real Hawaiians do, but we chose not to.
Smart. I appreciate that, because I think that's probably dangerous with a driver you don't know. I would only trust my friends and loved ones that grew up in the South to drive me in the bed of a truck. Unless it was like a Ryan McGinley road trip when we were trying to capture some sunset content.
You prefer maybe just a whiter guy to drive you. I got it. What's the next subject?
We're in Texas. We're touching the stage tonight, much like Willie Nelson or some of the other famed locals here.
Willie, Rogan. That's it.
That's it, really. Well, Rogan's actually got a gig tonight, apparently, so we're up against Rogan.
Yeah, it's anyone's guess who's going to sell more ticks at the end of the night. It's pretty neck and neck at the moment. I don't know where he's doing his show at, but
I think you can see Rogan at the local taqueria. So maybe it's less exciting. We're a one night only. The Texas swing is merely a one night stand, and then we're back to the warm cockles of the Big Apple.
Throw a golf ball in any direction, you'll hit Joe Rogan in this town.
Yeah, that's damn right, exactly. But I mean, I've been processing the news of the engagement between Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian.
You've been processing it?
Yeah, I've been processing it. I saw this great tweet earlier that somebody posted that was like, what Scott couldn't do in 11 years, Travis did in 10 months. Time means nothing. Don't be scared to start over. Kourtney's 42 and living her best life. I love this for her. She deserves it, with pictures of the engagement. And this guy said, y'all don't know these people, LMAO, is the response, which would have to agree with the investment in this relationship. Not that we don't do this to other celebrities, but it seems more extreme. Would you agree with me?
I would, and I think we were talking, or this reminds me of what we were talking about yesterday a little bit, where I was mentioning people on the airplane, and it's sort of like the original thought that you would have about these people is like, oh God, these people are idiots, fuck them. And now it's moving more on to like, I feel bad for them, like, you have to tell somebody, like, you guys don't know these people. These are just people on your television. You shouldn't really be thinking this much about them or, like, having this, like, emotionally affect you so much.
Yeah.
And it is because, I guess people who watch television like this, Bravo, reality. Mm-hmm. I'll be the first to say it. I think reality television is not healthy for us, Chris. And this is just, one of the side effects.
Once again, going to the front lines and saying fuck it, and you're gonna live your truth, and I appreciate that. But reality TV is probably the best thing we have going for us, so I'm willing to risk it every day.
A guy like you would say that. Somebody with a rotted brain.
I'm more concerned, speaking of guys with rotted brains, I'm concerned about your boy Disick, because I feel like Disick might show up dead in a hotel room in the next 48 hours if we don't keep track of it.
If anyone out there's got eyes on Dis, not Dis Dick.
I'm going to need you to call all your friends in Vegas and tell them, don't sell to him tonight. You know what I mean? Like, let's cut him off. No coke, no Molly, no pills. Like, he can
if
have
you
his,
are
like,
a
Grey Goose
busboy at Tao in Las Vegas, just take the night off when it comes to Scotty. He doesn't need this right now. I mean, it reminds me, or what you just said.
We'll reimburse.
Any lost wages, of course. We'll set up a GoFundMe for Scott Disick's coke dealer in Vegas, because he is being put on ice for the next 48 hours. But it reminds me of like early Scott Disick, shenanigan posting there, like when you first heard about Courtney and Travis dating, there'd be like a picture of them like swimming in a pool and like looking very much in love, and Scott would like reply to the picture like, "Who's this joker? Get this clown out of here!" Like, he'd be talking shit, and then like 10 months later, it's like, $1 million engagement ring, huh? Okay. And does anybody know any cliffs I could jump off of, and not in a Diplo kind of way?
This isn't in Mexico for the gram. This is real life.
This isn't Costa Rica. This is. I'm hoping to really end this tonight.
I think Travis Barker has more money. What do you think?
More money than Scott Disick?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Scott was already rich from his family money, right?
No, Scott doesn't really have any family money. He's like a middle-class guy. I think he's made a lot of...
Oh,
I think
really?
he's basically like...
He's an entrepreneur?
He's an entrepreneur. You've heard of Talentless, his Blanks brand. But I believe it's mostly like, the Kardashian affiliation will get you a lot of cool influencer deals.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I think for that case... I think Travis has more money than Disick.
Do you think he has points on all the small things though, or do you think Blink-182 splits it 3 ways, or do you think it's like he's not really a songwriter, he's merely the skin slapper?
I think that it might not necessarily, because he joined the band. He was not a original member. He joined the band after it had already been formed. So maybe there's a chance that it's not a perfect 3-way split. And he might, I'm sure he gets a fair deal. I don't really picture the Blink-182 guys, trying to give him a raw deal where he gets 10%.
That is bro,
no.
Tom DeLonge is literally like searching for UFOs. I don't think he's I don't think he's a good guy necessarily.
People who search for UFOs are bad guys? What does that mean, Chris?
I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying maybe they're not of right sound mind. And maybe they wouldn't care that their friend, isn't making as much money.
Chris, I don't know. I have a scientific mind. And I think I'm a nice guy. I'm a fair guy with a conscience.
Do you?
So I think what you're saying is scientifically false. And I think that Travis definitely makes way more, because like when Blink-182 does a show for the last, how long have they been a band that's been successful? Like 20 years probably. Every time they do a show, they make, what's their guarantee for a show in 2003? $200,000?
I mean, probably pretty high. I mean, the Warped Tour fees are a little lower, but they were the face of the tour.
No, I'm not talking about Warped Tour. I mean, just like when they were like selling out arenas for 15 years straight.
Yeah, they were doing all right.
They made millions on top of millions on top of millions, and they were making money off of CDs when you could actually make money off of CDs. They got 90s money. They're totally set. Totally set. Way more than Scott. Because like I was doing an event a couple years ago
Oh, here we
I know
go.
that like the PR people paid Scott to do a walkthrough, and they probably gave him like, I mean, no more than 10 grand or something like that to show up. And this is when he was dating, what's her name?
10 grand for a walkthrough ain't that good.
No, I mean, that's how much fucking Travis Barker, spends on fucking carne asada every weekend.
I feel like we could get 10K for a walkthrough if we played our cards right.
Some of us already have, Chris.
But Jason, all this Texas talk and Kardashian talk, it can continue with our guest, but we do have a guest today.
Who is the guest today? Let's talk to her.
New Gawker, #NewGawker, editor-in-chief Leah Finnegan, who we actually met at the Bowery Bowery Hotel. Sorry, I'm getting my Boweries mixed up. We have so many engagements.
A lot of Bowery stuff going on. Okay.
At the Bowery Hotel for the Gawker relaunch, but she also was at the Outline for a long time. She's contributed everywhere. I think she has a lot of opinions on the kind of dumb stuff that we like to discuss on How Long Gone. And hopefully we can get her to weigh in on some of those today. Yeah,
that's good, because I'm just getting started on my Courtney stuff. I know you probably want to get into Musgrave stuff.
We need to talk about, we need to tackle Musgrave today, because she's absolutely torpedoing her career. And while I'm in Texas, for some reason, it's hitting harder. You know what I mean? Even though she's a Nashville resident, fuck Nashville, but you know what I mean.
We're in the home, like as soon as I got off the airplane in the Austin airport yesterday, there was definitely a female wearing a hot pink cowboy hat in the terminal. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm in Austin now. Like someone's going to have a Spacey Casey themed bachelorette party, probably in our hotel at the pool in just a few hours. Yeah, there's some chicks by the pool now that look like they're probably our age, maybe have a couple kids, but they're looking to get loose tonight. They're trying to fuck well, and they're made well tonight. Yeah, they were reading books by the pool and shit, getting very loose. I believe they were drinking water. What book do you think they're reading, Chris? You know about books. I'm not a big book guy. Probably something they picked up at the Austin airport when they were getting their Salt Lick to go before they hopped in Uber. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the Colin Powell memoir. Just obviously I've read it before, but it would sit right with me. Colin, man, you know what? That George W. stuff, look, I don't love it. I don't love weapons of mass destruction, but he was a good guy. And he died of COVID at age 98. So that, he lived a good life. He lived a Did he lived a good life. Was he 98 and he died of COVID? No, but he's I know he obviously was no spring chicken. No, he was old AF. But it's interesting because I don't know a lot about him, obviously, but I do think it's funny that he's kind of been like, I feel like there's two sides of the coin with him, where some people like him and some people really hate him, and he gets both. Let's put a pin in this Colin Powell talk. And I know our guest is really going to want to get into it. She's probably a big fan of the stuff he's done over the years. So let's give Elle Finn a zoomie. Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free. Zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Well, basically, when you're recording without headphones, we will when we're editing the show together, you'll hear us on your recording, and it will just sound like all fucked up. Does that make sense? I don't know how much time you have, in a studio recording environment or not. I'm in my own house. Yeah, it's not. You didn't rent out a studio for this episode recording today? Well, I did, but then they're like, we all got COVID. You can't come. I see. We've been talking about a lot of hot topics in our little intro, and we won't bore you with the Colin Powell stuff, obviously. It's sad. It seems like you think that getting COVID's funny, Liam, but
Yeah.
We don't joke around that kind of shit.
It's just sad for Pete Wentz.
Did Pete Wentz get COVID?
Oh, he's Colin. Sorry. It's Colin's cousin.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I think I knew that. So you're saying Fall Out Boy bassist and ex-husband of Ashley Simpson, Pete Wentz, Loaded God, Complex, Cock It and Pull It, is actually related to the late
Mr.
Colin Powell.
God.
Yes.
Okay, so you're like, I'm not worried about Colin Powell, the guy who is no longer with us on planet Earth because he died of COVID. I'm feeling bad for the guy who plays bass in a shitty band.
Yes, I'm feeling bad for Bronx Mowgli Wentz, his son, who will never get to know Colin Powell. It's just sad.
Oh, that is.
Kid is not named Bronx Mowgli Wentz.
Yeah, come on, bro. You didn't know that. Also, we can't defame Pete because we're trying to have him on the show.
Yeah, we're trying to get Pete on the show. We wanted to talk about his tennis glow up of the summer of 2021. You remember that, right, Liam?
Who's Lola?
Pete Wentz.
He played. I think you guys even wrote about it on the website that you run, but maybe that wasn't.
That was before. I was like 5 then.
No, this is recent.
No, the summer of 2021, which is about 3 months ago.
I was 5 then.
Are you that young? You do look youthful, but
I'm a prodigy.
you have tats and stuff, so I know you're over 18.
You can get tats when you're 5. You just need parental permission.
And your parents let you go to the office and do the job and everything. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so prayers up to Mowgli, what, Bronx Mowgli?
Yeah.
We talk a lot on this podcast about how things shouldn't be named the way they're named. The last episode, I'm sure you already listened, but that one we got into the name of the watch editorial website, Hodinky. You familiar with
That's
that?
a troublesome one. Yeah, that makes me worried.
That name makes you worried, doesn't it?
Don't come for dinks. Don't come for the dinks. Don't do that.
Dink Nation, they got claws. Let's just say that.
Is that a watch inside watch name?
Yeah, I believe it means. We've never looked up the actual meaning because that would ruin the joke.
No,
but
we did look up the actual meaning, and I did forget it, but it sort of means, I don't remember what it means. I think the word was sort of like of Russian descent.
Uh-oh.
I've already kind of blocked it out, but you know, a name like Hodinky, it'll keep you up at night, won't it, Leah? But a name like Bronx Mowgli Wentz, just the way, the amount that it doesn't roll off the tongue,
Right.
is really what kind of gets under my skin. I don't know, what is it about us where names will affect us so much? What do you think, Leah?
Just, you're putting on airs. Choose a normal name.
Yeah, use a normal name like Chris Black.
Right.
That does a lot. That works nice. That rolls off the tongue.
Do you like your names?
My name is my only gift, to be honest. I'm not very smart. I guess I'm over 6 feet tall, which really works in my favor.
Your
but
name is your only gift?
yeah, my name is kind of my gift because it's very easy to remember. You can't really forget it, and it kind of looks nice on the page.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason's name is similar to mine in a way. It's just kind of straightforward.
Yeah, my name's Jason Paul Stewart, and when I was a kid, I used to tell people it's a real meat and potatoes name before I really knew what that meant. And who really knows what that means nowadays? What do you think about my name, Leah?
I think it's great.
Okay.
3 first names. Can't beat it.
My name is spelled EW, not with a U, and that's kind of how you go last name. If it was with a UA, then it's a first name, Stewart.
No, it's both our first names, but UA is a little more fancy.
You ever met somebody named Stewart where it was the first name spelled EW? I'll give you $1 million.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
She probably went to an Ivy League school, Jason, so she's probably met people that have names like Stewart as their first name.
Yeah.
Right.
What is Stewart's? Do you remember Stewart's last name?
No, I don't.
Was he hot? Was he hot though?
Extremely hot.
Fire. Was he rich? Maybe that would be cool too.
I don't know. He played rugby.
Oh damn! So he was a nice thick guy. Yeah, Jason's kind of moving towards thick, so maybe he should.
Nice.
Yeah. My thighs are a problem.
Love talking about your bodies.
So you haven't listened to this podcast before. Great.
I listen to podcasts all the time.
Okay. What about the one you're on right now?
Yeah, not.
To be completely honest, I've never listened to a podcast
Of any kind ever, any podcast.
of any nature ever. Yeah.
You really are a wired it girl.
I'm not an auditory learner.
More into video? 3D? You're like a virtual reality kind of chick?
If you put it, the podcast, if you just wrote it down and then it was just an essay.
Okay.
That would be great. You should try that. And we could publish it on Gawker.
That's kind of a funny idea because everyone, like when you're in the podcast biz, I know you don't know about this because you're anti-pod, but a lot of people will be like, oh, if you want to monetize, you also have to pivot to video. But you're saying we can cut a deal where just every hour-long episode is transcribed and then published as an essay on Gawker, and you'll pay us for that?
Right. Well, you have to, it can't just be a dialogue. You have to turn it into a narrative.
Okay. It has to be adapted.
Right. But we can give you 50 cents a word.
50 cents a word. That's not bad.
This is looking pretty good. And since Jason can't read or write, I'll be taking 35 cents and breaking him off the rest. But I wonder, who could we hire, Jason, to kind of like punch it up? Maybe a Hollywood script type, or do you have somebody in mind?
I do on my own punch-ups myself. I mean, I'll bounce it off some of the greats, but that's not really for you to know about, Chris.
You know, we all have our readers. You know what I mean?
I learned late in life how powerful an editor can be. Do you guys agree with that?
Who are your first readers? Who do you share your work with?
Probably my dad.
Damn, really?
You have a dad?
He's a big reader. Yeah, I have a dad. Not to brag.
Pretty sick. She comes on here and shits all over. She's got a dad who she talks to also.
Well, what was it like growing up with a dad?
My dad was a beef salesman.
Beef salesman?
And I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a big beef town.
Is that a pseudonym for gigolo,
Chris,
or was he actually selling beef? I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
If she said my dad was a beef salesman in Vegas or Miami, then sure, the mind might go to a more of a gigolo lifestyle. But in Chicago, I think every other dad is a beef salesman, right?
Yeah, it's big. You know, they
big.
still
Beef is
like
big.
beef there.
Okay, so you grew up in a beef household.
Yeah, beef and pork.
Beef and pork.
But now my dad's a math teacher, but he's very well versed he's part of New York media, basically.
Okay.
Because of his relationship with his daughter, or because he's a voracious reader and consumer of all content?
Both.
Damn, your dad sounds cool as hell.
He's pretty cool, yeah.
Also, he delivers beef to the Wall Street Journal, just coincidentally.
No, not anymore. He got out of the beef industry. It's very corrupt. I know that sounds totally crazy.
No, it doesn't. It's a slimy business.
Is it mob run? Let me guess.
I don't know. The Chicago mob, it's not that big.
Chicago is definitely a mob city, but Chris, I would suggest don't ask questions you don't want the answers to, brother. You might hear something that'll compromise you and your safety.
I don't want any of us to get killed over this, so we can move on.
So Leah, your dad. So when you send say an essay to your dad, you're assured that he will kind of give it to you straight, his feedback.
Oh, I don't even send it. He's refreshing constantly.
He knows about your stuff being published before you know it's up.
Yeah.
And you're the one who hits the publish button sometimes.
Yeah. That's what he tells his friends.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who hits the publish button.
You're like, Leah, she's like a fucking editor or something, huh? I don't know why I'm saying like that. And he's like, yeah, she's the one that she pushes
It's a classic Chicago accent.
Push the publish button. That's what an editor does. Like, okay. Thanks for the explanation.
I don't want to simplify the job, but it is part of it. It's a big part of it, actually.
If you don't publish anything, you're not going to get any readers.
Mostly I give people permission to hit the publish button. I don't actually do it myself. That's the big secret of the industry.
Yeah, this sounds like a classic tale of when you rise on the food chain, you end up doing less work. Am I right?
No comment.
It's more emotional than physical.
The label you're doing at the Bustle Digital Group is you're saying it's more emotional than physical.
It's incredibly emotional every day.
Okay.
A roller coaster.
So you'll be like, all right, time to publish a story, and your fingers on the publish button on Tumblr or whatever you guys use, and someone's like, no, that's for the help. Have another mint julep, Leah. And you're like, I think I'm going to like the publishing business. How
do you know so much about this?
I don't know. I have a vivid imagination.
Jason's a big nylon reader.
Nylon.
So he's kind of tapped in.
Nylon. Top magazine in a building.
He's a known reader of a lot of the Bustle Digital properties. But Jason wasn't in New York during the Gawker years like I was. You know, he wasn't refreshing the Gawker Stalker in its heyday. And I have some questions for you regarding the stolen intellectual property of Gawker and what Dumois has done. And I want you to go on the record and shit on those haters.
Leah pulled no punches.
Sure. No holds barred.
She really is from Chicago.
We do it. We're very upfront.
Yeah, like a wrestler chick.
Go Sammy Sosa. Go Sammy Sosa on these losers.
I'd rather go, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
Oh, you're going to go Frank mode?
That's what they call me. They call me the Small Hurt.
Oh, shit. Damn.
All right.
SMOL Hurt.
That's small. But I do think that at first, when Dumois, as a celebrity lover, once Dumois popped up at first, I was into it, and now I hate it.
It was so good. At first, it was so good. And then I think Ms. Dumois realized her power and just made it the worst account in the world.
A tale as old as time. I like that you said Ms. Dumois has a real...
Yeah.
Now, do you have theories on who runs the account? Because I've heard different things.
I don't know personally, but my friend did interview her, but she's, very close to the vest about her identity.
So it is a she.
What are your theories?
I've heard that she's actually related to a celebrity.
Oh, like it's Gwyneth Paltrow's cousin.
Rebecca Paltrow.
Right.
Not maybe, I would guess not that high up. I would guess more of like a Bachelorette contestant from 2011 is probably...
Because he said celebrity.
Do you think it was Colin Powell?
Shit.
Yeah, he didn't die of COVID. He was taken out. By...
Gawker.
Alexander Wang had Colin Powell suicided. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't ask questions, but I do think that the problem with Dumois is there's a lot of mask shaming.
Oh, interesting.
Like they're like, yeah, I saw so-and-so, they weren't wearing a mask. It's turned into part of the unfortunate tattletale culture that we live in. It's like not fun or interesting, or like I saw Kourtney Kardashian and she looked hot, which is what we want to hear. It's more I saw Dale from The Bachelor at a dive bar in Raleigh,
right?
And he didn't have a mask
Chris,
on.
I think your problem is you're really into mask shaming, but the other kind.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You're
more like, I saw this pussy at Whole Foods wearing a mask. LOL, what a pussy.
No, I just think it's turned into. I just think that times since the original Gawker Stalker set the bar, I think times have changed, and I think in many ways. But I think that the access to quote unquote celebrity is very different now.
Chris, are you saying that we're living in unprecedented times right now?
We are. During these unprecedented times, people want to say that Claire from The Bachelorette looked a little chubby in her tights, and I don't think that's actually information that I want, but I guess the follower numbers would disagree with me.
I think that Claire from The Bachelorette's publicist is probably not the busiest publicist, and perhaps has many Gmail accounts or many Instagram accounts that she uses to
feed the streets.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Jason and I to show up on there, but I haven't seen it yet. Oh, wow. So do you think we could maybe make it? I feel like we're close-ish.
Probably after this podcast.
the Finnegan effect.
The Finnegan bump.
They'll be like, you talk to the Small Hurt. But here's the thing, like, other Dumois posts are like, oh my God, I met Taylor Swift when I was 13, and she was so nice. End post.
End post.
There's not the necessary ire towards celebrities, which is people should hate celebrities. Celebrities are so stupid. They're not people, but people, we're in this era where people think they have to treat celebrities and their anxiety as legitimate.
Well, what does that mean for us as we barrel towards fame? Are we going to become worse people than we already are?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know you, but I know that. You're already probably worse than you were.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like we came out of the womb at a 4. And then as soon as we published our first podcast, 6.5, and now we're touching 8 right now.
And now you got the New York Times article, and what next? The Wall Street Journal article?
That's a great question. No, they're not going to touch us. Probably they're a little more of a conservative paper, as you know.
They got to do a big story about trousers and I don't know if there's going to be any room for us.
I don't know. You want to reach the financial world.
Wall Street Journal doesn't talk about financial stuff anymore. They just talk about, top 10 socks or something.
No, they have a great section. It's called Mansions. It's about big houses.
We're in the mansion section, baby. Come check
I was
it out.
gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you what the mansion section was about, but you followed up so quickly with that information. I didn't even have time. Thank you for that. That really, you're really helping me. You're helping me out today. I'm more of a how to spend it girl. That's where I'm trying to get. I want overseas financial eyeballs looking at us and our podcast. That's where I'm trying to go. I'm a little, but. Jason and I have different ambitions because he's trying to make the cover of Mix Mag still, which is like a DJ rag because when he was a DJ, he never achieved that. So we're kind of at odds on where this podcast is going.
I like that you know the name.
Are podcasters DJs?
I guess I've never really thought about it. Oh God. Because I used to select tasty tunes for an audience, and now I'm selecting tasty takes for an audience. So I guess when you think about it, podcasting is a lot like DJing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do me a favor, Chief, and never say tasty takes again, please? That I feel I need to take a shower after that. But I mean, Leah, you said you've never listened to a podcast, which makes you cool.
Mm-hmm.
But your interest has never been piqued, like when President Barack Obama was on In the Garage with Mark Maron, you didn't press play because I don't have time for this shit?
I've read his Medium post, so what else do I need to know?
I think you just have too much respect for the written word that you don't really have any time for any other forms of media. Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched a movie before or TV?
The movies, they're so long.
Book is long, Leah. Book can take me months.
Book is long, but you can fall asleep and no one judges you. You can also you can read it on your phone.
Yeah. iPad Pro.
I've heard that.
I recommend it.
Are you the kind of person that reads books on your iPhone on the subway? You don't have a Kindle e-reader?
I do, but I prefer my phone at this point. I just read the Jonathan Franzen book on my phone.
Jason doesn't know what that is, but if you could tell us a little bit about it, because I saw some literary types praising it.
I did not like it. I was very disappointed in my favorite person in the world, Jonathan Franzen.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan, so I'm surprised you didn't love it. But why do you think it's receiving critical acclaim if it's not actually good?
Probably because it's kind of like the Topeka school in that it's just about men trying to be profound.
I couldn't get through the Topeka school, so I'm glad you said that.
I don't know, making their way through the world, and it's boring.
I live that every day of my life, so it's not exciting to read about it.
And they don't even have names like Chris Black. Exactly.
Franzen, who can even pronounce that? It's barely legible. Mm-hmm. Do you read all the new releases?
Do I read all the new releases?
Yeah, are you a big new release head?
No, I have to wait like a year, so I miss the press cycle.
See, this is something we need to get into because I need to figure out how to do that because I hate TV shows. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I hear about it too much. I don't like Succession. I don't care about it anymore. The only thing I want to do is see Dasha on TV. I don't want to watch the show. I don't care about what happens. I don't care about the fucking theme song. I don't care about their fashion.
He only wants Dasha.
It's interesting.
Why? Why is that interesting? Why would you say that?
You know what, Leah? I agree. I also think that it's interesting, but please expand.
Yeah, but it's the only interesting thing about that because people are trying to make all the people in Succession hot and they're not hot.
Well, what about Jeremy Strong's nose job? Because I just watched I watched Zero Dark 30, which he has a bit part in, and also so does his nose.
So you do watch movies.
I've seen Zero Dark 30 multiple times because it is a masterpiece of the form.
So you're saying that Jeremy Strong's nose job is the most interesting thing about him, or do you think he's a great actor and you follow his career closely?
I think it's the most interesting thing about him.
Because he was, just to inform the listeners who don't know, maybe Jason, he was like a Law and Order character actor type for years and years, and this is his big breakout role, correct?
I have no idea.
Okay, maybe Chris is he hot like how Dasha is hot?
No.
I think Kieran Culkin is. I decided he's hot.
But did you decide that because you like the show and his character, or do you think if you saw him walking down the street in Brooklyn Heights, you would offer to buy him an IPA?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what, Leah? I think I see where you're coming from because when I was watching the season 3, episode 1, the episode featuring Dasha, I was looking at him, and he kind of wears, decent clothing. It seems to fit his tiny body well. Mm-hmm. And it, like how like Tom Cruise, for example, like we all know that he's a little fella, but like clothes kind of look proportionately correct on his body, despite his size. And I think Culkin has a little bit of that same special sauce going on. Plus, his dark kind of depressive spirit. I think a lot of people latch on to that, or most of the women that I've had sex with.
It's important to have clothes that fit.
That's true. And as a very, as a remarkably tall person myself, that's a feeling that I rarely get to feel.
How tall are you?
6'9".
Oh, here we go.
She literally asked.
6'9" for real?
6'9" for real, dead ass, Leah.
I'm 5'2".
I know. I remember when you guys stood next to each other at that party. It was pretty cool.
Did we? I only met you, Chris Black.
No, I think maybe I just saw you guys standing near enough to each other that I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Either way, it must have been an unforgettable interaction.
It's another atmosphere.
Do you think height gives Jason a bigger ego than he deserves?
Yes.
Does your height negatively affect you, or is this how you just go through life bright-eyed and bushy-tailed?
I have a height disorder, so I got to choose my height. So I chose 5'2".
Go on.
Are you fucking with us?
No, I don't produce my own growth hormone, so I had to take synthetic growth hormone, which is very controversial. But I mean, Jason could have taken it and been, 7'9" if you wanted to.
Why is it controversial? Because you're playing God a little bit?
It's like, is it a cosmetic condition? A lot of people are like, my son can't play sports because he's too small. I want to put him on this hormone, and some doctors are permissive.
Yeah,
and if you have the money, you can take the hormone. But I was supposed to be 4'5", so that I don't think I would be the same.
How does that stuff? Are there any side effects to that stuff? Does it make you feel funny, or does it just kind of do its thing?
That's a great question, Chris. They don't know what the long-term effects are, so that is going to be interesting as I age.
Really? So this is like a pretty still figuring it out procedure then.
Correct.
If you turned up the juice even more and you started taking some 80s instead of your little 30s, could you have been even taller?
Yeah, because also, when you start going through puberty, your growth plates start to close. So I took a medication that kept my growth plates from closing. So I technically didn't age for 2 years.
Whoa.
You can take that medication for longer, and I could have been taller, but
it's already a little bit of a question mark, but then you don't want to kind of gild the lily, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Was this like a hard decision for your family, or was it like we gotta pull the trigger on this?
Well, my mom's 4'10", so I think her height affected her, and she didn't want the same thing for me. But it was very, my parents are really like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, I'm 8.
You're like, I'm only this many.
Right.
Me no heights.
They're, they gave me a lot of free will. It's just nice of them.
It's very nice of them, and very progressive and very awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I always think about, height a lot. It's a big part of my life. And I always think, like, when you're an extremely tall person like I am, obviously there's a lot of benefits that come with that, but there's also some disadvantages. And it's like, I always say it's like a handicap that nobody has any sympathy for. But I obviously, as a smaller person, the handicaps are probably much more.
It was interesting that, there was an article in the Times about the relaunch of Gawker, and it mentioned this height disorder because I'm theoretically working on a book about it. And after this article, someone was like, oh, the new editor of Gawker is a dwarf. Which is technically true. It's a form of dwarfism. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, if someone says I suck, I can be like, that's ableism.
Yeah. This is good. This is good for you.
Dwarf shaming.
So, Jason, why don't you do that?
Yeah, Jason, it would go over really well. It would go over really well for this upper middle class white male from Huntington Beach to say that ableism was the reason that he wasn't advancing in his podcasting career.
As ridiculous as Chris made it sound, that won't stop me from attempting it regardless.
So after your New York Times profile, how did your life change?
Not at all.
Did you get any cool inbounds, or was it just like another day, another dollar?
some people surfaced, but really,
anybody you care to give a shout out to, or anybody you
maybe had a couple uncles came out of the woodworks, try to hit you up for a little bit. Let me hold a couple grand.
Yeah, they were like, "Can I get 50 cents a word?"
Wait, you give that deal to everyone, Leah? What the fuck?
Yeah, unless you ask for more, but you didn't ask for more, so it's 50 cents. Always ask for more.
Yeah, we're $1 a word type podcast, I would say.
Yeah. Well, you didn't say anything, so now you're 50 cents.
You live and you learn in this town.
We're locked in at 50 cents, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I noticed that you guys are publishing a lot of short form content, which I like. Like, it's basically like a tweet with no rules. Is that what you tried to? Was that like a goal, or is that something that came to you as the site was developing? Because it's a funny thing to do that I like.
I really believe in short form journalism. I think everything can be under 800 words. So I was very excited to start this site because I knew it would be a place for very quick, breezy posts about things that we think are funny. And I hope that's what it is to the readers like you.
Yeah, I'm a reader. And I mean, there's also been a lot of chit chat around the graphic design.
Sure. Yeah, very controversial. People love to talk about that.
What are some of the controversies that you're hearing? I like the graphic design of it.
Me too.
They're like, it looks like shit. It gives me a seizure. The UI is terrible.
Is it giving you some thicker skin now that you're an editor?
My skin is very thick. It's just, leather at this point. So no.
Okay. So you already came out of the womb thick AF is what you're saying?
It developed over in my 20s.
What were you doing in your 20s that caused you to have so many haters?
Well, I was very, busy in the media world, and then I was at the first Gawker, and the first Gawker essentially got canceled, and I was very publicly fired. And before that, I was fired, and I was basically fired from every single job.
Why do you get fired so much? Because you seem pretty good at what you do.
Ableism?
Yeah, ableism. They don't want someone who is disabled. Anti-dwarf.
Hit the bricks, shrimp. That's what they'd say.
That's exactly what they said on my outgoing evaluation.
So you're saying the New York media is ableist against someone like you, and that's caused you much strife in your career.
Right, but I've gotten over it. Now I'll get fired from this job, and then you move on.
Okay. Have you thought about maybe having a backup Patreon or Substack going in the event that you do inevitably get canned again?
No, I have too much shame for that.
Okay. If you weren't working in the New York publishing biz, what is it that you think you might be doing for a living, other than the beef game?
Stay-at-home mom.
That's cool. Is that a goal that you're actively attempting to reach at the moment?
No.
Okay.
I just want to be clear, you're not pregnant then.
That's a personal question.
This is a personal podcast, Leah.
It's a HIPAA violation. You're asking about my fetus, so it's very personal.
What'd that fetus do, Leah?
The fetus also gets 50 cents a word.
That's good to know that you guys aren't biased, even no matter. So there's no ageism going on at the new Gawker. That's good to know.
No, not at all.
Do you think that you would actually be able to become a stay-at-home mom, or do you don't have the kind of need to work gene in you?
That's a good question.
Obviously, it's a different kind of work as a stay-at-home mom. Plenty to be done in this house, but I'm asking because on a personal note, my life partner sometimes will sort of joke about it in a half joking way of like, let's hope that your podcast turns really good so I can just be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife.
First of all, the podcast is really good. It's just not throwing off that much cash yet. Second of all, Jason, you are a stay-at-home mom already. So I don't know I don't know how that would work out in your household.
Yeah, there can't be two stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, because you take care of the dogs and you do all the cleaning and cooking and you like to get mail and stuff.
I like to get mail.
I thought the podcast was doing well. You went on tour.
No, the podcast is doing well, but I'm just saying my chick has expensive taste.
I also have expensive taste. This podcast ain't buying me a G-Wagon.
I was talking about you, Chris. My girlfriend has expensive taste too.
We did an article on the G-Wagon. You should Google it. It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, no, I know because it's over a certain weight.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, I do know that. I live in LA part-time, baby. We know all about these tax shelters, you know.
Oh, the rich get richer.
Right.
But I always like to tell her, like, there's no way that you're going to, like, our podcast does make money now and it is cool, but like, you know, she's talking a little bit more of that Joe Rogan type money, and I always tell her, you know, you're gonna go, you know, the idle hands are gonna drive you a little crazy. You always got to be doing something, and I don't think you know, tending to the garden or washing the bathroom floor or whatever for the 9th time today is gonna cut the mustard for her. And I worry the same about you, Leah.
I told someone I was going on a popular podcast today, and they said, "Is it Joe Rogan?"
That says more about you than it does about us and the kind of people that you keep around.
Yeah.
Were you flattered to hear that somebody thought that it was possible that you would be Rogan material?
Yeah, I really did like Fear Factor.
You're a twisted chick, if I may be so bold to say.
Okay. You can say it. I won't stop you.
You get down and dirty. I was always very disturbed by people eating, you know, maggots or, you know, deer semen chugging contests or something like that.
Are you the kind of person that could let spiders crawl over you for a little coin?
I could probably get through it.
How much Xanax do you take every day?
0.
Are you smoking loud though?
No way.
She said no way.
You sound like a little bit of a narc, but I bet you're sipping on that natty wine.
No way. No way.
So are you sober or straight edge?
Experimental straight edge.
So did you ever party when you were at your liberal arts college? Did you party or no?
You know, I did LSD once, and I ended up crying on a median near Lincoln Center without my wallet. So, and then I had to like ask someone for money to get a subway card. Mm-hmm. So after that, I really decided I didn't want to do drugs.
That turned you off to psychedelics a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's very traumatic.
It's pretty cool that you did drugs once and you were homeless and broke. Usually it takes people years to get there, but you kind of jumped ship. You
learned fast and early that you are not built for this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Not for me.
That's cool. I had to learn the hard way of years of abuse to my body and spending thousands and thousands of dollars on controlled substances, but you know, it worked out for the best, and I think that you seem like you're on the right path to success. And who needs it, you know?
I'm already there.
Yeah, you're already a pretty successful chick. So what do you do to unwind the stresses of the world? Transcendental meditation, CrossFit, you know, what's your anti-drug?
I really like dessert.
Oh, don't get me started on this. I had to give up dessert like it was OxyContin.
Oh no, why?
Because it's the final frontier for me being in the greatest shape of my life at 39.
Well, what desserts did you like?
Any of them, any dinner that I went to, which is most dinners because I don't cook. There was a dessert, and if I was eating at home, there would be an Unreal candy, you know, the fake healthy candy, or maybe
those are good. Yeah,
maybe some Uncle Eddie's vegan peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. I can't even say it, to be honest. I can't even say it. I'm salivating.
Yeah.
So what's your go-to? Pecan pie?
Tiramisu?
No way. No, I don't like pie.
Who doesn't like pie?
Pie's way overrated.
You know, if you're an intelligent member of the New York media, I'm gonna guess it's coffee Haagen-Dazs.
Ooh, weird. No.
Okay.
What's your what if we're opening the Finnegan fridge? What are we seeing in there in the sweet section?
I like fruit snacks. I like buying like really expensive chocolate.
I don't love this.
Okay. When you say fruit, let's do fruit snacks first. When we say fruit, are you talking about like a fruit by the foot?
I have recently gone into that just as like an energy infusion in the middle of the day. I keep like some Gushers in my desk drawer.
Jesus.
If I'm feeling faint. They're pretty good.
So you use Gushers if you need a little fuel to finish the day?
You need a little pick-me-up.
Okay. That's smart. Get all those nutrients in there.
But dessert, I like, ice cream bars.
Like a Snickers or like a classic one, or you want high end?
Yeah, like a Haagen-Dazs ice cream on a stick.
What flavor are we talking about, Finn?
It's classic.
Vanilla. I'm a vanilla person myself.
Yeah, it's great. But cake is the best.
Well, all right. The real question is, how many nights a week are we having dessert? 7 of 7? 5 of 7?
Oh, absolutely 7 of 7.
You're like me, and you're going to have to wean off. You can't exist like this forever.
I even have a lunch dessert.
Holy shit, you freak.
Yeah, this is, it's drugs, but not drugs.
I'm getting a little bit of a Home Alone vibe from you. Like a no parents, no rules type of lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you're hitting Balthazar at 12:30 and getting a couple Madeleines to snack on after you have
That does sound good. Yeah, that sounds really good.
After you have Sweet Green and a cigarette? That sounds pretty cool.
Mama needs her smile to go cookie.
That's weird.
Get in my belly.
It's very strange. You ever have a marshmallow like in the middle of the day?
Fuck no. Damn, you're a twisted chick. Jason wasn't wrong.
Hey, bro, you ever have a marshmallow in the middle of the day?
Pretty good.
Like, do you pair it with a warm cup of Joe, or are you just raw dog?
Just raw marshmallow.
I gotta say, you're fucked up, Leah. You're a fucked up chick.
It's not the first time I've heard it.
This is taking a turn that you're telling me you're at home in your Eames chair, pounding away on the MacBook Air, just eating a raw marshmallow?
Yeah.
Like a comically oversized marshmallow, like a designer one, or like a bag of classics?
You can get the really, really big ones. Those are crazy. You almost have to eat them with a fork and knife.
Yeah, you get a marshmallow that requires 2 hands.
Yeah. I mean, if you're really feeling fancy, you can put it over the gas flame and give it a little color. But who has time for that?
Give it a little color.
I got this website to run, so.
The Slack is dinging while you're over there and the marshmallow is melting. You got to really juggle a lot of stuff, it sounds like.
It's true.
Personal question, do you live alone?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so then it doesn't matter that there's just white powder all over your furniture and clothing and everything like that?
Not at all, no. I have a dog.
Okay.
Dog likes marshmallows as well.
Or can dogs eat marshmallows? I've never had a pet.
Yeah. They can eat marshmallows.
And you're not like a vegetarian or a vegan or anything like that.
No.
You hunk down on it all.
Yes.
I guess you are from Chicago at the end of the day.
Yeah, real hot dog lover, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Because marshmallows, it does have gelatin in them, and that is made out of animals.
Yeah.
And you probably like that.
The pig's hooves.
Hoof hive.
I'm getting a vibe from you that you may have been into punk and hardcore. Were you punk and hardcore adjacent in your younger years?
No.
I'm not getting that vibe at all, Chris. What made you say that?
I just wanted it to be true, I think. What were you into in high school?
I had a lot of dollhouses. I really liked my dollhouses.
He said in high school, Leah.
Yeah. No, I was, I had the short thing where I was very small. So that really fucked up being a normal teenager.
So in high school, you were not you had not hit 5'2" yet.
No. So I did theater and I would always play like the kid parts.
Mm-hmm. So when I said I'm only this many, you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking your lingo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you grow up in the city of Chicago or a suburb?
In the burbs, just like Pete Wentz.
Yeah, that's right. One of Chicago's most famous. It goes Pete Wentz, Michael Jordan. As far as Chicago people, for me.
Wilco.
Hey, don't get me started on Wilco. Jason hates them, and I love them. I feel like are you?
I don't hate Wilco.
You have to love him.
I absolutely rinsed Yankee Hotel Foxtrot many a time.
What?
I know you brought girls home from the club and put on Jesus Etc. to get it.
No. That's fat girl music.
Wow.
This podcast goes for the jugular sometimes, Leah, and you're going to have to accept my apology ahead of time.
You're very honest about women. I like it.
Yeah, I don't, just because I'm financially connected to him, but I guess that there are some ups and downs. I think people listen and they know that it's a little bit in jest, but also maybe we're saying the things they want to say. You know what I mean?
So Chris is worried about me maybe getting canceled, Leah, for the things that come out of my mouth.
Right.
But you probably have a feeling that if anyone's going to get canceled, it's going to be my co-host, right?
I mean, being canceled can sometimes be the best thing that happens to a person.
Do you have any examples?
Allison Roman.
Yeah. And then Chrissy Teigen got her due.
I fucking hate Chrissy Teigen. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast. It's amazing to see her like just dying a slow death.
Did Chrissy Teigen's life and career get better after getting canceled? I feel like it didn't. I feel like she's living like a world of pain and torment.
No, she's gone.
She's gone. She's now just John Legend's husband. She's a fucking stay-at-home mom where she belongs.
Oh. and I'm the one who's getting canceled.
I mean, no one likes Chrissy Teigen. I think the world has turned on her.
I have a sucker for the underdog. I'm sorry.
You are a sucker for Asian women. You are a sucker for Asian women, but I think even you,
Chris.
think even you could resist Teigen.
No, we've already talked about this before. I've already dined with Teigen, and we had a gay old time.
You should interview her for Gawker, 50 cents a word.
Would you? You haven't even read any of my samples, though, Leah. Are you sure you're down with that?
I didn't. You must have sent them to the wrong email.
Oh, I didn't send them. I don't have samples, but if I can get Teigen, you're saying, it doesn't matter.
No.
They I don't know if you know how these websites...
Have you ever read a website?
No, he hasn't. The way the websites work, Jason, is they usually try to get a good headline for people to click.
Okay.
So if it says middling tall podcaster speaks to fallen legend Chrissy Teigen, it'll probably get a click. Right, Leah?
I have a feeling if it just says the Chrissy Teigen interview, and it could, nobody will even check if the story is good or who wrote it.
People just read the headlines, so it's totally chill.
Yeah, they're obsessed. Well, Gawker, but Gawker is obsessed with Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, they've dedicated a whole section to her. Am I wrong? Yeah,
she hasn't really done much lately because I think she knows we have a section on her. We have one writer who just writes about what she does.
What's her section called? Does it have a name?
It's called Chrissy Teigen.
Got it. Okay, that's a snappy,
pretty straightforward,
snappy name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder it's getting clicks.
Speaking of great names, Teigen is one of those. Hang it in the rafters. Do you think John Legend... John Legend is a guy who went to an Ivy League college. He's won multiple Grammys. He's rubbing elbows with the creme de la creme.
Where did he go? Dartmouth?
That feels racist, Leah.
Or no, I think he went... I think he went to Penn, actually, which is a lesser... I understand it's a lesser...
I think it's a good school, Chris, but go ahead.
He's a very accomplished guy. Do you think he's embarrassed of his sloppy wife?
Yes, because did you see that video where they're on a Zoom call with Julia Roberts and Chrissy comes into the scene and she's wearing a ball gown and she's she's in the background doing she looks inebriated, but she's waving and Julia Roberts is what are you doing? Why are you dressed like that? Yeah. And everyone's kind of sneering at her. It's very good. You can watch it later.
I'll check.
I'll send you the link
because I think Teigen is unfortunately married her way into celebrity, and she didn't handle it properly.
She was already kind of a celeb before she got married, though, wasn't she?
No, bro. She was a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
She was outspoken online.
She was known for her sense of humor.
I kind of like Chrissy Teigen on the low, just because I like to zig when others zag.
She got too big and she couldn't handle it.
Yep, that's what's happening to us right now. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Remember, she said, "I just want to be beloved." That was weird.
That is a weird thing to say. I'm sure that's kind of what everyone wants, but to specify it like that is odd.
Yeah, you can't really say that. You also can't really engineer that. That's not really how it's going to work. But that's
a weird use of English.
It is.
Well, I don't think she's a master of the language by any stretch of the imagination.
Fair.
I wouldn't look to her for that. She's kind of gone away though, for real.
It's nice. Who should go away next?
Kanye West.
Oh, you don't like his vests? I think they're so funny.
Kanye has sort of put himself away the same way that Chrissy has. He literally is avoiding any of that. He doesn't tweet, he doesn't post on social media, and he wears a mask in public. That's pretty low.
I like the mask. I like building with Michael Cohen. I think that's all very cool. But overall, I don't know what I want to go away more. That or Succession. I don't know which to choose.
Chris hates Cousin Greg. He wants him out of here.
That's another thing, a Dumois trope, is that Cousin Greg is this playboy, and everyone wants to sleep with him.
Right.
I think Cousin Greg is a stick man.
I don't know what that means.
It means he's sexually experienced.
Interesting. Well, who has the time
for intercourse?
Yeah.
Some folks do.
The way he chooses to do it.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of downtime in Hollywood. He's not always working. And, that's kind of one of the perks.
Yeah, he's guest bartending at Ray's and talking to sorority girls.
And he's always I want to get married.
Do you think Cousin Greg is hot?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you think he's adorkable?
I told you I liked Kieran Culkin. He's more my size.
So what are some other short kings that really get your dandelion blowing?
That only Kieran Culkin.
Kieran only. Okay.
Wow, that's a pretty limited scope. As someone who is very in touch with celebrities and what they look like, I'm shocked that that's where it begins and ends.
I don't have a ton of celebrity crushes. I like Mark Cuban.
Oh, damn. Leah, I gotta say, this is awesome. All the stuff that you're saying lately is really good.
Is it because you think he's hot or because he's rich or both?
Both. I think he's the best shark.
The best shark.
I would agree. Are you a big basketball fan?
I do like basketball, yeah.
Yeah, so Mark's checking a couple boxes for you. I see what's happening here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mark Cuban and Kieran Culkin. Is there a third that can kind of round out this trio of bachelors for you?
I would love to date Kevin Durant.
Damn.
Because we went to the same college, so we're classmates.
Kevin Durant went to college?
Yeah.
So simply because the fact that you guys went to the same school is why you would like to date him?
Yeah, because we automatically have something to talk about.
You know, there's other people that went to your school that could be maybe more attainable than Kevin Durant. Have you tried any of those fellas?
No, it was a small school, only 50,000 people.
That is small.
I
Slim Pickens.
I don't like Durant only because he's a big J. Cole fan, and it kind of he's a great player, you know, but
That's a turnoff for me.
the J. Cole stuff isn't great.
I don't know what happened there.
That's a misstep.
But I liked his exchange with Michael Rappaport when he said, "Meet me at Catch."
Do you hate Michael Rappaport as much as we do, Leah?
I don't have a strong opinion, but I can't hate him as much as you do.
Better question: have you been to Catch?
No,
You know what? We should take you there. It's pretty funny,
that'd be great.
and it's
I would love
honestly food's not bad.
it. All right,
Are you a sushi? Are you a sushi eater?
sure.
You like it high end though, don't you?
It doesn't matter.
She'll do a Key Food sushi hit if she's on the go. No problemo.
It's a great source of protein. Always trying to get that protein.
Yeah. When you're in and out of the gym constantly, you kind of need to load up on that teen.
You need the muscle repair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on muscle repair. I'm big on recovery.
For the shorter kings, if you can't grow up, you can always grow out.
Yeah, so I'm trying.
Are you doing a lot of bicep, tricep work?
I've always been a lifter, but not a dedicated one.
Okay.
And not one who challenges myself.
Sure. So you got the 10-pound dumbbells, but you could probably do 25s, but you just don't want to break a sweat in there.
Right.
Chris is also a lifter, so you can DM him and he'll send you tips if you need any.
We have like lifting shoes.
Speaking of lifting and shoes, maybe you can chime in on this, Leah. I was just working out in our hotel gym here in Austin, Texas before.
That's where Kevin Durant and I met.
You met Kevin Durant in Austin, Texas?
Are you in Austin, Texas right now?
Yeah, we're playing a show tonight at 310 ACL Live. How Long Gone in the building.
Oh my God. Yeah, I went to UT Austin.
What?
That's right.
I didn't know you were a Longhorn. This changes everything.
I bleed burnt orange.
Yeah, so you don't strike me as a big Texas chick off rip. Did you adapt an accent or any of the Southern living methods while you were here?
No, but I had a lot of classmates named like Tant.
Could you spell that, please?
Tant.
Tant?
Did you hold on? Did you go? Was this like did you get a scholarship for grades or did you choose this?
No, I chose it.
Why?
She's a sports lover.
Did you go to South by Southwest and you just never left?
Yeah, because I love live music.
I need to get back to Tant.
That was a lie. Yeah, Tant. No, Texas it's great. I mean, are you enjoying it?
Actually, yeah, I was in Houston as well, which I like more than Austin.
Houston is a sleeper.
It's sick. But we had some tacos yesterday. And I went to the original Whole Foods twice already, and the Barry's boot camp. So I've seen kind of all the important stuff.
We also went down to a fishing creek, and boy, was that nice.
We did some photography yesterday, but if there's anything we must hit tonight, we have a few hours before the show. If you just want to bless us,
the Whole Foods. I mean, it's the greatest place on earth.
I agree. We're big Whole Foods heads on this side. I can tell you relate to us on that.
Yeah, but you can go to the Texas Tower, a site of one of the first school shootings.
You know, it's interesting. I'm going to call Jason the Texas Tower on stage tonight. So thank you for...
That's a good idea. Yeah. Please credit me. Be like Reed Gawker.
I really thought it was going to be something involving onion rings. So it took a darker turn with the school shooting vibe, but I'm still willing to check it out.
It's great.
Leah, how do you think this podcast went on your end? Scale of 1 to 10, or maybe a Rotten Tomatoes.
7.9.
Certified fresh. I think I agree with you.
I've been on a podcast before. It's my first time on this podcast.
Yeah, but it's the first important one you've ever been on, and that changes things.
First one with an audience and stuff.
Sure.
I think you have a nice dry demeanor.
How many listeners do you have?
A lot.
More than 50, but less than 50,000.
No, more than 50,000.
Oh, great.
Yeah, quite a lot. They'll go check out Gawker.com for sure.
Every student at University of Texas at Austin.
Exactly.
Yeah, them and then all of their family members. We're looking at we're quadrupling what 50. I don't want to get into it. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to talk numbers. That's a little gauche. I pretend I'm a wasp. So just know that you'll be getting a lot of people coming out of the woodwork for this as well.
That's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, that guy you never wanted to hear from again is definitely listening to this podcast. Tant's a subscriber. Okay.
Your Facebook is about to blow the fuck up.
Leah Finnegan, thank you for joining us. You guys check out Gawker.com is the website. And if they need to follow you on social media, where should they do that?
Twitter.com/Leah Finnegan.
She's got the fire handle. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.